So how old are you?
I'm 19.
Wow. So how you doing today, ma'am?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. So what's your name?
My name's October.
October. All right. So are you homeless?
I am, yes.
So how long have you been homeless?
I've been on and off homeless for about 3 years, but I've been on the streets for about 4-ish months now.
About 4 months. Are you originally from Indiana or
Yes. However, I'm originally from up north.
North?
Yeah, I was from South Bend and then ended up moving here.
So how long ago did you move here?
Let's see. I believe about 6, almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like it, or I mean, what?
I'll say this. Indy has been its own ups and downs. Not my favorite place, but in terms of being homeless, not necessarily a bad place to be. There's a lot of resources.
So what would you say your drug of choice is?
I really just smoke weed, which is sadly kind of hard to come by. Well, harder to come by on the streets, at least I've noticed.
Yeah, and that's crazy because all the surrounding states, they got
They're all
dispensaries.
legal,
and, yeah.
Well, on the streets a lot you'll see Katie, which is not good, so...
What's Katie?
I believe it's technically a horse tranquilizer, however it's a form of synthetic weed, which is usually some form of just an herb, usually catnip, I've noticed from people who try and sell it, or also alfalfa, but it's sprayed with essentially some horse tranquilizer.
Wow.
The term Katie is short for ketamine, which is what the actual drug part is, the part that stimulates you, gets you that high, but it's incredibly unhealthy. I mean, yeah, if it's tranquilized the horse, why would you even take it?
That's crazy.
That's a little scary.
So is that what be having people all linked over and sleep on the streets and just... and just looking like zombies?
Yeah. Actually, yes.
The whole zombie, so it comes from...
That is primarily that. It also kind of has the effect of making people act crazy. Usually when I've noticed people smoke Katie, they'll become louder and kind of more aggressive and outspoken in negative ways.
You see all my bags? You literally gave me 5 seconds to grab my go. Are you proud of yourself?
And then they kind of slump.
So it's like a roller coaster ride
It
of
also-
chaos.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me.
So you said that's like the synthetic weed. That's like the...
Yeah, and it's fortunately pretty easy to tell, but that's if you're really knowledgeable on it. I've ended up knowledgeable on a lot of that from just the upbringing I had. So I was very fortunate that when people were trying to sell Katie and tell me it was weed, that I was able to quickly look at it and be like, oh no, that's not what that is.
Nah, I'm okay.
Yeah, no thank you.
So, tell us about your little kitty. That's a nice cat.
His name is Mr. Midnight. Don't
Mr. Midnight.
My fiance's last name is Midnight, and we decided what his original name was just going to be kind of silly because he was given to us named Midnight. So, because he was young, we were able to still change his name because he hadn't picked it up yet. So, we chose Mr.
Huh. And how old?
It makes him a professional businessman and causing chaos.
So how old is he?
As of today, he is 4 months old.
Happy birthday, Mr. Midnight.
Yeah, happy 4-month birthday.
That's pretty cool. So how old are you?
I'm 19.
Wow. Are you?
Yeah. am relatively young for someone on the streets, I've noticed, actually.
Yeah, that's the youngest ever
Well,
ever heard of.
there are 18-year-olds that I've met, and there are also younger homeless people than I. However, they're usually kind of harder to find because they're more in the shelters and able to get into some form of foster care. However, it is kind of, while it seems like a positive, it's not all that great, especially as the shelters surrounding Indy all happen to be kind of not good. Usually they mistreat anyone who comes through the doors, and most of the shelters around honestly have very poor conditions. One of the most recognizable being especially the men's wheeler mission is in very poor shape, has outbreaks of body lice from what I've heard, and it's unreliable, along with the fact that there's barely any working amenities that are kind of basic in order to run something like that. And on top of that all, they'll have people kicked out for absolutely no reason to simply write it off and get more money. But Wheeler Mission tends to run a lot of shelters around here, having about 3 primary ones. So you're either having awful amenities, terrible treatment, or both, all from every shelter, but then specifically the ones run by the same company.
Wow. So you would rather basically be on the streets than be part of those organizations?
I mean, in that case, yes. However, there's other outreach teams. It's just sometimes it's harder to get to them just because of travel. I mean, you'd be on foot walking maybe 45 minutes an hour from just one street going on down to hit one of the closer outreach teams.
I see. So is there anything you would want to, say to the world before we wrap this first interview up?
I would say just a lot of people don't realize that being homeless is just one inconvenience away, one check that bounces, one paycheck. It's not necessarily something that is that out of hands for anyone. And even then, being homeless is not all that. Yes, it's not fun, but there are a lot of chances that you get to see the actual good that people have. There's something else I wanted to say with that. I'll probably end up thinking of it later, but really just most of the people out here who are homeless don't have a choice. It's just something that one day something went wrong and happened. I mean, my car exploded with all my legal in it. It's really, really hard to have to sit there and notice that not only people are passing you by, but everyone around you sits there and thinks to themselves, you are homeless for a reason. You deserve this. Even homeless people think about it.
I understand. All right. So do you have an email or, a Cash App, any way that people, they can reach out to you and help, send donations?
I mean, I sadly do not have a working phone right now to even be able to reach a Cash App, but I think that I have a very old PayPal I still have access to.
All right. So what would that be?
It is HENI0316, I believe.
Say that one more time.
HENI0316.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. We're going to wrap this up.